Hey everybody, I'm Trish Witkowski from Foldfactory.com and welcome to That's Foldtastic for Design TV. In this episode, we're going to be talking about high impact folding trick number 7, die cuts. Now, die cuts aren't generally considered kind of a lower budget solution. However, I have a few good tips for you. A couple of things. One, printers tend to hang on to their dies. So you may be able to get your hands on what I like to call a pre-enjoyed die from your printer, and that way you can save some money, on the actual creation of the die. You don't have to deal with that. You'd still be paying for die cutting, but you might be able to take a format that was used previously and get some benefit out of that. So that's really cool. Now, I do suggest, though, you may want to check with your printer, go on a day, take a look at what they have, ask them if you can take a look at their dies or if they have an inventory, but go on a day when you don't have a project in your head. Otherwise, you may force a concept, right? You may have something in your mind and then you get there and you say, oh, this is amazing, I'll use this, and then the thing about designing for folded materials is there's got to be, your content really needs to match the format. And so you don't want to kind of force a concept into the wrong format because then you just end up with a mess, right? So anyway, so pre-enjoyed dies, that's a possibility. Also, sometimes it's, not a really tricky die cut or you might be able to use a simpler folding style with a basic die cut that may not be that difficult. Or might be able to even be done inline if it's a slit or other certain types of techniques. So you might want to talk with your printer from that perspective too. And third, if you're already doing, let's say, a letterpress score, well, then they're creating a die anyway. So if it makes sense conceptually, you might be able to throw in a die cut as well and be able to really maximize that impression, right? Because you're going to do that impression for the score, so why not cut at the same time and maybe get something else interesting, right? So I've got, 8 samples to show you today of different types of die cuts that were used in different pieces.